Hi everyone, Jean-Pierre from teamtennis.fr and teamtennis.net, former tennis coach in France. In this video I'm going to make a review of this racket. This is the Babolat Pure Aero 98 version 2023. Before I talk to you about my feelings on the court when I played with the racket, I'm going to give you some information concerning this racket. First, this Babolat Pure Aero 98 is the new model of the Babolat Pure Aero VS. The name changes, but it's the same racket, is the new version of the Babolat Pure Aero VS. I found it close to the Babolat Pure Aero VS of 2020, except for the maneuverability, which I found better on this version. We will talk about that later in the video. In terms of specifications, there are two differences. The swing weight goes from 316 to 327, a bit higher for the swing weight, which is a bit surprising concerning the maneuverability. I will talk about that later in the video. Stiffness changed from 67 to 69. This is a reduced power version of the Babolat Pure Aero in 300 grams and 100 square inch head size. We are going to compare a little bit these two versions. So the Pure Aero 98 compared to the classic 300 grams Pure Aero is a little heavier, weight 305 grams unstrung. The balance is different. It is located at 31.5 centimeters for an unstrung racket, so more on the handle side for the 98. The head size is smaller, 98 square inch. The swing pattern is tighter, 16 by 20 instead of 16 by 19 on the 100 square inch version. The profile is thinner, 21 millimeters, 23, 22. And all these characteristics will reduce the power of the racket as well as the access to topspin. But the access to topspin remains very good with this version. This racket still has the aerodynamic profile at the throat of the racket, well known for the Babolat Pure Aero. Very interesting to increase swing speed for your topspin shots. This racket is a Tennis Warehouse exclusive. It will be available only at Tennis Warehouse Europe and Tennis Warehouse USA. Before I continue with my feelings on the court, for your tennis equipment, I advise you to go at Tennis Warehouse Europe or Tennis Warehouse USA. I have a partnership with these websites, and it's very nice from you if you use my affiliate link to buy there. Doing so, you will help me continue the videos I'm doing on YouTube. You can find my affiliate links in the description under the video, and you can also type one of the addresses that appear directly on the video. Thank you very much. Okay guys, let's go now with my feelings on the court when I played with the racket. I'm going to start with the power provided by this racket. I show you on the screen a comparison in terms of power with some of the rackets maybe you already tried. So the Babolat Pure Aero 98 is a control-oriented tennis racket with reduced power. The racket is a little demanding at the same time without being too hard to play for a racket in this category. In my opinion, this racket corresponds well to the modern game with power and topspin, with a control side that is present, but at the same time there is also a correct dose of power. The feeling of power will of course depend on the string you use and its tension. Very important, the tension of your strings. I played 2 times with this racket, each time with a Luxilon element 1.25 millimeters. First time with a tension of 24 kilograms, second time with a tension of 20 kilograms. During the test at 24 kilograms, I clearly lacked power. It was difficult for me to play with the racket. The ball didn't come out of the racket. It was a bit hard to play with the racket, not comfortable. And concerning power, I lacked power. However, at 20 kilograms, it was really different. I had the good amount of power, sometimes a little lack of control, but overall the right power control compromise, even on the serve, which for me is a weak point. So this control-oriented racket is therefore able to provide a good dose of power, provided you adjust the tension properly according to your sensations. Still, I recommend it to players of a good level, able to produce power with their game, their technique, their physical skills, but at the same time, we are not looking for the highest level of control. This is a control-oriented tennis racket, but at the same time, you can get a correct amount of power if you find the right tension for you. Okay, now a few words concerning the access to spins with this racket. On my slice backhand, I had very good feelings at 24 or 20 kilograms, maybe better at 20 kilograms. It was a bit easier and more comfortable, but very nice feeling on my slice backhand. Access to topspin is a little reduced, of course, compared to the Pure Aero in 300 grams, but it remains very good for a racket with a 98 head size as for the 2020 model. As for the power, the tension of the string will play an important role for the access to topspin. With the racket stretch at 24 kilograms, had correct access to topspin, but stretch at 20 kilograms, I really had an excellent access to topspin. The feeling was really completely different at 20 kilograms. So once again, the tension of the string is really important for the power, the access to topspin, and also the comfort. So I would say that for a racket with such a head size, a bit small, the access to topspin is very good. I found the maneuverability very good with the Pure Aero 98. Elements that help with maneuverability are the balance point, located at 31.5 centimeters, a balance located slightly on the handle side. With this balance, you don't really feel the weight of the racket, and you have the feeling of having a relatively light racket in the head, which facilitates swing speed and access to topspin. The head size of 98 square inch helps also for the maneuverability, and the medium profile 21, 23, 22 millimeters. I found I had a better maneuverability with this racket than with the 100 square inch version, and I also found the maneuverability better with this one than with the 2020 Pure Aero VS, which is a bit surprising as the weight and balance are identical and the swing weight is higher on this one. So I would have expected less maneuverability with this version. So there is a bit of a mystery with that. But what I can say is that on my test, I really found the maneuverability very good with this racket and better than the Pure Aero VS 2020. I finished with the comfort provided by this racket. With the previous model, the Babolat Pure Aero VS, I found the Pure Aero 98 to feel rather classic and fairly firm. By classic sensations, I mean sensations that are not filtered by very present vibration and shock absorption systems. The shots are less soft than those provided by the Babolat Pure Strike, for example, except the Pure Strike VS, which gives, in my opinion, a bit the same sensations. I recommend this racket to players who don't have arm pain, who are looking for a racket with fairly firm sensations, who are not looking for excessive softening of the sensations when hitting. Keep in mind that the feeling of comfort will also greatly depend on the string you use and its tension. I had much more comfort during my test with the string stretch at 20 kilograms. Okay guys, so to conclude concerning this racket. So it's a control-oriented tennis racket, but at the same time with a good amount of power if you find the right tension for your string. Very good access to topspin, very good maneuverability, sensations a bit firm, not filtered. I would recommend this racket to players with an intermediate or advanced level, not for beginners. Players able to play with a racket that is a bit heavy. Players who want a control-oriented tennis racket with slightly reduced power, which at the same time gives quite decent power. Players with a modern game, power, topspin. Players who want a very good access to topspin. Players who appreciate the Pure Aero in 300 grams and who want a heavier and slightly less powerful tennis racket. Players who are looking for a racket with a very good maneuverability. Players looking for a normal level of comfort with classic sensations without any particular softening of the sensations when hitting. Players who have no arm pain. And players who enjoyed the previous Babolat Pure Aero VS, from which it is very close, except for the maneuverability I found better on the Pure Aero 98. Okay guys, I stop here for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope it will help you. If you're looking for a new tennis racket, feel free to ask me any questions in the comments. Have fun playing tennis and I see you very soon in another video. Take care. Bye bye.